The Mississippi Delta, flat, oppressive, a land where the horizon seems to stretch endlessly, offering no respite from the relentless sun. The air hangs heavy, thick with humidity and the stench of despair. It's a place where every breath feels like a struggle, where the weight of history presses down on your shoulders. The sun, a cruel overseer, bakes the earth until it cracks. The ground, parched and unforgiving, tells tales of relentless heat and unyielding hardship. Cotton fields stretch to the horizon, a mirage of promised prosperity that only ever yields suffering. These fields, once seen as a symbol of wealth, now stand as a testament to the pain and toil of those who worked them. The land remembers the moans of slaves, the sting of the lash. Every corner of this place is haunted by the ghosts of those who endured unimaginable suffering. It whispers their pain to the wind, a mournful symphony that never ends. The cries of the past are carried on the breeze, a constant reminder of the atrocities that took place here. This is a place where hope comes to die, swallowed whole by the unforgiving landscape. The barren fields and desolate roads seem to mock any notion of escape or redemption. Down a dusty road, past the crossroads where the devil deals his hand, sits Parchman Farm, a place shrouded in darkness and foreboding, where the very air seems to hum with malevolence. But don't be fooled by the name. This is no place of honest labour, no refuge for weary souls. The walls of Parchman Farm are not built to shelter, but to confine and punish. This is a prison, a place of punishment. The barracks, the gun towers, all stand as silent sentinels, watching over the condemned with an unyielding gaze. And within its razor-wire embrace, amongst the silent barracks and echoing gun towers, lies true evil. The very essence of despair and hopelessness is woven into the fabric of this place, making it a living nightmare for those trapped within. Parchman Penitentiary. The name itself sends shivers down the spines of even the most hardened criminals. It stands as a monument to human suffering, a place where hope is not just lost, but systematically extinguished. Built in 1901 on the grounds of a former plantation, its history is soaked in blood and torment. The land itself seems to remember the cries of those who toiled and suffered here long before the prison walls were erected. Thousands of souls have passed through its gates, their lives forever marked by the brutality they endured within those walls. Each inmate, a story of despair, each cell a silent witness to countless acts of cruelty. The air itself seems to crackle with unseen energy, a palpable sense of dread that clings to every brick and bar. It's as if the very essence of suffering has seeped into the structure, making it impossible to escape the weight of its dark history. Of all the places of suffering within Parchman, none are as feared as Unit 29. This is where the most dangerous inmates are kept, or so the official records say. A maximum security block, it houses the prison's most dangerous inmates, or so they say. But the true terror of Unit 29 is not in its prisoners, but in the very walls that contain them. But the true horror of Unit 29 lies not in its prisoners, but in something far older, far more insidious. It's a presence that has been there long before the first inmate ever set foot in the block. It festers in the shadows, a malevolent force that feeds on the pain and despair that permeate every inch of the prison. This entity, this dark force, thrives on the hopelessness that Parchman Penitentiary so efficiently cultivates. It is said that those who enter Unit 29 never leave the same, if they leave at all. The walls whisper secrets of torment, and the air is thick with the cries of the damned. This is where hope goes to die, and where despair is born anew every day. Silence. It's the first thing that strikes you about Unit 29. A silence so profound it feels almost tangible, wrapping around you like a shroud. Not the peaceful quiet of a library or a tomb, where silence is a companion to contemplation or eternal rest. This is a suffocating silence, heavy with unspoken horrors, a silence that seems to hold its breath, waiting for something unspeakable to happen. It presses down on you, stealing your breath and filling your lungs with ice, as if the very air is conspiring against you. The air is thick with the metallic tang of blood and the stench of fear, a constant reminder that you are not alone. Every breath you take is a reminder of the violence that has seeped into the very walls. And then you hear them. Whispers. They start as faint murmurs, barely audible, like the distant hum of a forgotten memory. Faint at first, like the rustling of leaves just beyond the reach of the wind, teasing your senses, making you question your sanity. But they grow louder, swirling around your head, carrying fragments of sentences, screams choked off too soon. Each whisper is a story of pain, a cry for help that was never answered. They are the voices of the damned, trapped within these walls, their torment echoing through the years, each voice a testament to the suffering that has taken place here, a haunting reminder of the lives lost. They are a warning. This place is alive with suffering, and it hungers. It feeds on the despair, the fear, the hopelessness of those who enter. It is a place where the walls themselves seem to whisper, where the air is thick with the weight of untold stories, and where silence is not a comfort, but a curse. Section 4. The eyes windows to a soul stolen. Look into the eyes of the men who inhabit Unit 29, if you dare. You won't find the spark of defiance, the glint of cunning that you might expect from hardened criminals. No, their eyes are hollow, vacant, like windows into empty rooms where something terrible has transpired. The light within them has been extinguished, replaced by a chilling primal fear. A fear that speaks of something far worse than the brutality of their fellow man. It's the fear of something that sees into your very soul, that feeds on your darkest fears, leaving you a hollow shell, a puppet dancing on the strings of something ancient and evil. Section 5. They who guard and they who suffer. The guards who patrol the corridors of Unit 29 are no better than their charges. Years of witnessing the relentless suffering, of feeling the oppressive presence that hangs over the prison, have twisted them into something monstrous. Their faces are etched with lines of cruelty, their eyes cold and unforgiving. They are not there to maintain order. They are there to contain the darkness, to ensure that the horrors of Unit 29 remain locked away from the outside world. But even they are not immune to its influence. The darkness seeps into their dreams, whispers temptations in their ears. It reminds them that they too are prisoners here, trapped in a cycle of violence and despair with no escape. Section 6. A hunger older than time, the entity of Unit 29. The evil that haunts Unit 29 is not a ghost or a demon, not in any traditional sense. It is something older, something primal. It is the embodiment of suffering, the collective anguish of every soul that has ever been broken within those walls. It feeds on the despair, the fear, the hopelessness that permeates every inch of the prison. It cannot be seen, not directly, but its presence is undeniable. It whispers in the shadows, chills your bones with its touch. It can twist your perceptions, make you see horrors in the mundane, hear your deepest fears echoed back to you in the dead of night. It is a hunger that can never be satiated, a thirst that can never be quenched. Section 7. No redemption, forever trapped in shadow. Those who enter Unit 29 rarely leave it the same. The darkness seeps into them, corrupts them from the inside out. It whispers promises of power, of release from their pain, but the price it demands is their very soul. Some resist, clinging to the last vestiges of their humanity, but most succumb, their spirits broken, their minds shattered. They become vessels for the entity, their eyes glowing with an unnatural light, their voices echoing with the whispers of the damned. They are forever trapped in the shadow of Unit 29, their torment a never-ending symphony of despair. For in this place of broken souls and shattered dreams, there is no redemption, only the cold embrace of eternal darkness.